It's the Polkaros Podcast.
Wow, it's very cute. Thank you so much. Welcome to another episode of the Polkaros Podcast. And today I'm very excited to have multi-talented, interdisciplinary artist Merissa to join me today. Merissa, thank you so much for coming on.
Inviting me.
Yay, I'm so excited. And you brought your ukulele.
Yes.
So I'm so excited to speak with you today and to find out all about your art. So let us begin from the beginning. Okay, let's start from the beginning.
Wow.
Maybe you can give us a bit of a self-intro first to have an overview of who you are.
Do you usually look in the camera?
No need.
Okay. Okay. I'm Merissa. Merissa T.
Mhm.
And you can call me Mersie. Some people call me Mersie.
Oh.
It's my artist name.
Mhm.
And then I'm also doing Mersie Studio now. Right now, I'm not exactly sure how it's going to pan out. I might even make another studio space for
okay.
workshops. That's something
Okay.
I'm looking forward to. Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of art do you do? Like maybe you can run us through a bit about your practice.
Yeah. So when I was studying in Korea, I did fine arts.
Oh.
Yeah. Prior to that, I was a designer.
Okay. So how do you decide to pursue fine arts in the first place?
So I was studying. Yeah. So I was studying comms, visual comms, and then throughout my time there, I was exposed to painting a lot by the electives, right?
Sure. Oh,
Yeah.
you mean when you were studying design, you were painting a lot already?
Yeah, there was a painting elective.
I see.
And then we used to go out and paint outside, plein air. And I really fell in love with the medium, like oil and especially watercolor. Because the immediacy of making images in that way is very different from how we do digital things, even though I also really like that. But it just felt something connected with me because I was able to observe my surroundings rather than stare at my computer the whole day. And so I felt very therapeutic throughout that process. And then I decided to do my final year project on ink painting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Even though it's a design course.
Yeah, design course. So I designed a book on my research on ink painting. So I researched on different papers and different inks and different strokes. So yeah, that was my way of designing my learning.
Did you digitalize the ink strokes? Like the strokes made with ink?
Yeah, so I made a book. Yeah.
But
actually.
Do you have to digitalize like those strokes? Just curious.
Make it into vector?
Yes.
No.
No.
A bit organic. Yeah.
Okay.
The textures are very organic. Yeah. Very organic. Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to embrace the paper and ink.
I see. Yeah. So that was when you discovered your love for painting and then
after that, so I thought, okay, I'm going to try to pursue painting. That's after I worked as a designer for a few years. Then I had this opportunity to have a scholarship to go to Korea. And then there I saw this course, which was more of like a fine arts course.
Okay, your scholarship to go to Korea was to studying the language?
No, it was to do my master's.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so just curious, why Korea in the first place? Yeah,
so there's this word called inyeon.
Inyeon.
Yeah, inyeon.
Wow.
Okay, so it's like connections, a relationship that they believe that it's like a thread, right? That keeps you connected to like some people. So I feel like I have the inyeon with Korea since I was young because it's just by my friend's recommendation. Some K-pop group like DBSK, I don't know whether you know, but it's very old group. Okay,
DBSK.
Way before BTS. Okay, so
DBSK.
Yeah, way before that. And then I fell in love with the Korean indie music. So I started doing music. And then inspired by the singer-songwriter style, the folk music style.
Wow.
And then I went there many times on my own, on holiday. And then I managed to do a singing competition. Okay. Then they sent me to Korea for 3 months, one semester to learn the language. And then I said, I'm coming back again. Okay. And then that's where actually I didn't want to go back to Korea. Because I was doing music in Singapore and it was something I enjoyed. So I thought maybe I'll stay in Singapore, but I got the scholarship because I didn't want to regret not trying. Then I actually went there and then it was COVID.
Yes. So actually we introduced you as like interdisciplinary artist also because you also have the music side, which we didn't really cover in the beginning. So when did you start, making music? Because that's also a big part of your background, right?
So I always sang since I was young. It's just natural for me. My mom sings a lot as well. So my childhood, a lot of singing.
Okay.
But I never wrote my own songs until I was in uni. Then my senior, because I joined the school band, the jam band.
Okay.
And he's like, do you write songs? Because you should. So that's where I wrote. Yeah, so that's where I started writing. And then I pursued music by doing the mentorship program in Singapore. Then I took it seriously at that time.
Okay.
Yeah. And I put my music out, let people hear, and then had good feedback. So I wanted to continue doing it in Korea.
Oh, okay. So you already had like a bit of a music career before you got the scholarship, right? Then the scholarship kind of came and then you decided whether you should go. And then you made the decision to go to Korea to pursue your master's in
Fine arts. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I thought I could do some music on the side. But the masters consumed my mind.
Oh yeah, when you were in Korea, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Took a break from
music,
So but you said when you went to Korea, it was the COVID time.
Yeah.
So how was that experience for you?
Terrible.
Terrible. So but when you flew over, did COVID already happen? Or was it like
one normal semester? It was like a dream. Amazing. Yeah.
Before COVID.
Before COVID. So it was really difficult because of the language. And I felt like I was competent in the language to a certain extent. Like daily conversation is fine. Small things in the certain topics that I know, that's fine. But suddenly you're doing master's level, art history, discovery, culture theory.
When do you master the language or even study the language?
Since I was young, a teenager, because of interested in the lyrics. I wanted to know what they meant.
But like when you got a scholarship, you didn't have to go through language course.
So they have this criteria. If you get this called topic, so your proficiency test, if you get above 4, you don't have to do the 1 year language course. But they have a 1 year language course.
So
for people.
You got above 4 just from your own
my own study.
You didn't even go to any language course in Singapore?
In Singapore, just here and there. I didn't do a complete from start to end.
And then you study, like really sit down and memorize on your own?
Most of the time, yes.
Wow. And you could already get into university. That's very impressive.
It's just here and there. It's like just only parts of it. So I felt a lot of my basic grammar is not there. Then I learned some advanced ones.
Oh, okay.
So like there's a gap. Because I didn't study like properly from the start.
Oh, I didn't know that. So, but you managed to, the whole master's in fine arts, the whole course was in Korean. Right? So you managed to just survive all that, like just with
God's grace.
Wow, like just
somehow one way or another. But I managed to make my own systems, I guess, to learn, because I had to do additional. Like one thing, that takes a local this amount of time, I take double the time because I had to do it in English and then change it to Korean and study that. Those terms. And then my presentation script is like, you have to prepare the research in English and then you prepare it in Korean.
Yes. So, wow. So it must be very challenging during COVID. When COVID hit, then you couldn't go back to the campus or have any physical classes, right? So how was that like for you?
Yeah, so I thought it was ridiculous. Fine arts,
all the way there.
Right? So, I went all the way there. And then my romantic ideal was that I will go out and paint like Monet, right? Go out and paint. So I literally pitched my thesis to be blues all over Korea. So every sea, every sky I see, I want to paint it.
Yes.
So that was my hope.
Yes.
So I couldn't. And then we only allowed to go to the studio like 2 people at a time, at a time slot. But nobody was there because you had to travel. Yeah, you had to travel out and then the gates were always locked. There's a lot of restrictions.
Yes. Wow.
So I had to find another, way to still make art, still make sense of what I'm going through. So start painting in my room.
Okay. Yeah. How was it like in Korea? Like, could you go out to the open air areas?
Yes.
Because in Singapore, we could still go to the parks and stuff. So were you able to do that?
Yeah.
Oh.
So they weren't very strict except for the 8 p.m. curfew.
There's a curfew. Wow.
So because their culture, similar to Japanese culture, is that they have this nightlife. After work, they have to have like corporate dinners or meeting your friends. So those were limited. So, but for me, I was a foreigner. So as a Singaporean, we are homebodies, most of us.
Yeah, so we don't really go out
I felt
anyway
even
after
more
8.
like less motivated to get out. Yeah. And I think that wasn't a good thing. Mentally, wasn't a good habit.
So you were painting from your bedroom in Korea.
Yeah.
Like, where did you draw your inspiration from at that time?
No, it's just my surroundings. I had no other like, subject to paint other than my room and daily objects. And then
like Van Gogh or something.
Van Gogh, yeah, maybe Van Gogh, yeah. No, really.
Like being in his room.
Yes.
Part of his life.
And it's interesting because the paintings that came out of it, I really tried my best to paint as it is, the object as it is. But when I look at my paintings now, I saw so much emotion in it and a lot of metaphorical meaning in it. Why did I choose to paint like my pile of clothing, like in my room?
Wow.
That mess of like, it looks almost like a mountain, like, like a mess, because the Korean one rooms are very small. And I went at a time where I couldn't find a nice place. So it was very terrible. And I had black mold in my room. And then, there's no wardrobe space. Your kitchen is your bedroom. So, I mean, it was a very extraordinary living experience. So I'm happy that I actually documented them through painting. And I also a lot of interesting things that I ordered from delivery. I was like totally dependent on delivery. So I'll order groceries or food and then I will paint them. Things that I never see in Singapore, like leaves, lettuces, or leaves that they eat. That has like red vines and things like that. Interesting.
A lot of very nice vegetables.
So I painted them and just think about life and vein and blood. Like, I don't know why, but my brain was so, like, even though I was mentally very down, but almost like artistically, it's very heightened.
Also, you had like black mold. I don't know.
Maybe that made me like hallucinate or something.
Yeah, right. I was just thinking the black mold. Okay. So, how did you because you were saying like when you went there, you already wanted to do like paintings of everything blue. Then after that, from painting from your studio, from your bedroom, how did you from there move on to now I see like you have a sea of blue cyanotype print, right? So how was that journey, like discovering cyanotype?
I saw it on that topic of blue. So I researched throughout history, art history, how did they use blue? What was the significance of blue? And then I felt like it was so wide and broad.
So before that, you were already interested in blue, but you didn't know why. It's again that
I wanted to paint the skies and sea. That was my starting point. But the more I researched into it, the more I saw a lot of artists use blue in many ways to express a lot of things.
Okay.
In so many ways, in abstract ways and in like nature and things like that. So I had to understand what that blue meant to me. But throughout the time when I was there was a period of time. I mean, there's a limit how much I can paint. So once we were able to go out, I felt safe enough to go out mentally. I started to document skies and sea, right? So I went out to different areas in Korea to film like seascapes. And I recorded like the sounds and all that. But then while doing that, I started recording my daily life, the urban life, right? And those things, they merged together like a flux to me in my memory, because maybe I was very anxious. So everything's like nature and urban cities like just merged together. But it might be also a Korean thing, it might be. But in Singapore, we don't have huge bodies of water.
I see,
but down there, it's like you walk in the city, you walk out and you see the sea, right? The ocean. And that's very very interesting how I felt my memories and my thoughts were like flooding from the past and things from the future that I'm worried about, like felt so real. So all these things, I needed a medium to try to bring them out. Because I really felt the power of the language of blue. So I wanted to find a way. So I searched like blue artworks, right? As I was researching, I saw cyanotype. I was very intrigued and I tried it. And then the magic of like seeing the image emerge was
Maybe
amazing.
You can share with us what cyanotype is, because some of our listeners might not have heard of it.
I think most people might have heard of sun prints. They call it sun prints because these prints are printed with the sun or UV light.
So that's another
term, sun prints. But maybe some people, like for example in Korea, when I told them I want to do cyanotype, they remember their childhood. So they do it in school, in primary school and kindergarten. They actually do do some prints. So usually the typical one would be to have like maybe leaves, silhouettes of leaves, or I mean, traditionally there was algae. They used to document different algae, and that's how they used this print to document things.
What is the process like?
So chemically, ferric ammonium citrate.
What?
Okay,
Sorry?
never mind.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, so two chemicals. Yeah, two chemicals that come together to become a very light sensitive solution, and you apply it to a surface that is porous or something you can absorb, like paper or textile. Then when exposed to sunlight, the areas that are exposed to sunlight will turn blue due to the chemical reaction. And then when you wash them, the areas that has not been exposed, that has been covered, will turn white.
So the original color of the, like whatever you
whatever you printed on, the color will come out. Yeah. So usually most of the time people use white, right? So the white and blue. Yeah. So that's how you make cyanotype.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So it was a very good medium for you to merge that two worlds that you were experiencing, you were saying. So you were using photography as well in this process.
Yeah. So I, as a designer, I use a lot of digital elements as well. So I mean, things that you can't just do with paint. So all the things that I documented, they were my collection of memories, my collection of things that went past me, but I didn't understand. So for me, it was quite a process of going and sieving through all the, thousands of videos and sound and images to find things that felt like I had meaning to it. And then I juxtapose them with different things. Yeah. So like, for example, here, it's like, actually I visited Singapore. So I had to do that 2 weeks quarantine, then 2 weeks out of Singapore, and then 2 weeks quarantine again. And then while that 2 weeks, I went out and tried to find as many like things that evoke some kind of sense of wonder or fear, which is like sublime, the art history or art theory that I kind of found a lot of parallels with in my work.
Can you share more about sublime?
So, I mean, sublime, usually German expressionists, they look at nature, the grandeur of nature, and they feel this wonder, right? Like amazing, so beautiful. But imagine being atop a mountain, you can fall down anytime, right? You look at the sea, you don't know where's the ending, right?
Yes.
What's under the sea, even scarier. So, like, you have that both very conflicting emotions come at you at a very extreme, level, right? And I felt like that during the pandemic. So I had a lot of fear.
Being home as well, right?
Yeah.
Like the feeling of safety, maybe security, but yet
I think there was a lot of fears from my past in my own identity. Like I was like grappling with what it meant to be Singaporean, because I lost hope for so long. I was like not there. Then I come back, everything is like ghost town, and then everything has changed, and everyone is wearing masks. It just felt very alienating. Yeah, so I also wrote a lot of journals. So I just juxtaposed some of my journal entries, also documents that I collected ephemeral from Korea. Like things that really evoke a lot of fear are like rental contracts. I don't know where you relate.
Yes.
Yeah, things like sell your life to us. And yes, I'll sign.
Wow.
In another language. So things that have a lot of fear, but then within it also I found a wonder, because we managed to overcome at some point, right? So I was like, wow, we're actually overcoming this. So I also felt a lot of hope in overcoming my like past traumas and things that I want to move forward from.
Yes.
Yeah. So sublime feeling. Yeah.
Do you feel that like cyanotype and your art, being able to create art, helps you overcome some of these fear, like the process of making and addressing these fears? Actually, that process helps.
Yeah. So like, in Korea, there's 단색화. Just like one color. I mean, one color monotonous kind of like.
淡色. Okay.
淡色, yes.
And
so so they really, it's also very similar to Japanese ideology. They focus on the material and the body. So it's like how you interact with the material. Not so much of like, I want to create a masterpiece or anything. There's no intention in that. So when I approached cyanotype, it was very therapeutic in that way, because I didn't know how it's going to turn out. So if you look at all the artworks here, they're all blue, but somehow because of different material, exposure time or whatever, right, it's a different blue. So I like that. I like that part of the alternative photography kind of medium. You can be very strict with it and scientific with it. But when I approached it, it was new to me. I wanted something that could help me embrace uncertainty. So like, rather than paint every single brushstroke you can calculate, right?
Yeah.
I mean, depends on what you're doing with paint, but most of the time I tend to think too much. But in printmaking and in like this alternative photography thing, there is like a wonder in whatever turns out, right?
Yeah.
And when I did my big ones, actually I can see, because how I did my big artworks was on the floor of my bedroom. And then my hair and dust, you can see it on it. Yeah, some people will be like, that's kind of weird, right? Like that's kind of like not clean enough. But actually I like the fact that that was my hair or the remnant of my dust in my room that I can never replicate again. So they are imprints of that moment.
Yeah, so I know I'm just like amazed by how you discovered cyanotype, because it's like so perfect for you, this medium. And also I think what's nice, I mean, I was asking if it was therapeutic. I think no.
Oh yeah. How you overcome fear.
I think the fact that it's monochrome is like it simplifies a lot of things, right? Like because sometimes you can get very distracted. Yeah. There's so many colors in this world. You can do a very, very detailed stuff. But the process of cyanotype kind of like translate all this like a lot of thoughts into like this blue, like shades of blue, and it kind of like just fix it there. And it kind of simplifies. I think that's also has this sense of calm in it.
Yeah, it unifies a lot of complicated things.
Yes.
Yeah,
like it help you process it or something like that, right?
It does.
Yeah.
Because it's like, everything is in one sea in some sense.
Yeah, especially during a time where there was a lot of uncertainties. I think it helped you to kind of like just calm down, right? Like I know a lot of those thoughts also. And the fact that it encapsulate like time, like, like the dust and the hair is only like that time that you can't get back, but it kind of like solidifies it in the print. So that's why I thought this is a very like beautiful medium. Yeah, like the more you talk about it, the more I'm like, wow, this medium is very, very fascinating. I think because like you can basically expose like photos or like even objects, and there's no limit to that, right? So is there any projects that you're working on right now that uses cyanotype?
I think there's a few things that I'm looking at. Okay. I mean, personally, I've been looking into like miniature things. So my artworks are usually very big, 2 meters. Yeah. So they are very big and overwhelming. And then I thought of like slowing down and go really small. So I was just looking into different hardware or things that I can imprint, put cyanotype in. So I have like little like pendants and also like jewelry, which is like, to put in that moment into here, and I bring it around with me. So it's different. So those I can only put it up when I have a space. And I felt it's a waste because I like forget about them. I put it aside. But these are like I can bring around with me.
Yes, it's like good keepsake items
for that moment. These are from parts of a print that also mean something to me. So like having like this word rest here. So just remind me to rest. Yeah, and different flowers and things like that. So that's one thing. And then another thing is more huge. So I'm going outside of myself because this process is very personal. But as I was having my exhibition, there were times where people were hiding behind the tapestries, behind my prints, and I was just eavesdropping because I'm curious, and they were actually sharing about their mental health. They said like when they were looking at the artworks, there's very, very different reactions. So some will be like, I feel very calm and comforted by the blue, and then others will say, I feel very like sad, and I hear them saying that out loud. Yeah, and some of them are my friends, so they feel comfortable saying it, but they're really like people who I don't know. They don't even know I'm the artist. I'm just standing around, and the girl said, I'm so scared. She said, I feel scared. She said, looking at the works, feel overwhelmed. And then the friend will be like, why? So they had started having like their own like counseling session in some sense behind that. And I was like, I want to make a space, not just this exhibition I had in Korea, how can I bring it back to Singapore? How can I expand it to the community? I want people to experience that therapeutic qualities of cyanotype printmaking. So we're doing this community art campaign about mental wellness, and then it's called Hidden Threads of Blue. And then you should know very well, right?
Yeah, actually we're kind of involved in this little project using cyanotype to address or rather create this opportunity, right, for people to talk about mental wellness, mental health issues, maybe like that that has a stigma to it, and it's very hard to talk about things that are hard to talk about. But through art, through cyanotype, we're hoping to create this safe space where people can also experience this therapeutic nature of cyanotype.
Right. Yeah. So, so very excited if you guys are, open to join us, because everybody is welcome. We want more people to share, to participate in this. So how they can participate would be actually many ways, right?
So the first one would be to join there's this survey, right? They were collecting different entries that will be made into cyanotype prints. But this survey is very unique, I would say, because it addresses some of like mental wellness issue in a very subtle, artistic way. So that, so that it kind of like just allow us to address those issues or like look within and kind of reflect on those topics without being too, serious, I guess. It's quite
so that's why it's called Hidden Threads of Blue, right? So, I mean, the title itself, we talk about like threads. The language of threads, in a sense, like you can just take threads, you move them around, right? Arrange them anyway.
Yes.
And then it can be printed, right? But we made a whole language of threads through that survey. So when people come in, for example, one of the questions will be how the people perceive your emotions, right? So you use threads. They have different, icons, I guess, symbols to illustrate, how that might look like. So if you do all those things, and then perhaps it will start to help you to look more inward and think about what you're really feeling. So one is like people's perspective of you, and then other questions are more for internal, like reflection. How do you actually feel? And then those are expressed with like artistically with threads. So it's not so daunting like a blank piece of a Google form where they're asking you rate 1 to 5, like how do you feel? Yeah. So it's a bit more artistic, and there's also room for your own interpretation, I guess. And at the end, we have this box, a text box where you can share your stories. And so far, we received so many stories.
Wow.
Yeah, we received so many.
Amazing.
And we've seen a lot of like similar threads. Threads that connect us, right? Like a lot of people feel lonely. But I'm like, we feel lonely, but we should connect, right? But one of the questions is also about how they connect with others when they feel down. A lot of people find it hard to find the, safe like knots with people. And so we hope that this project, will bring people together, because after we print them individually, we're going to sew them all together into a huge tapestry. And we're going to exhibit it. Yeah. So hope that you can come. And you will also have workshops. Right?
During the
exhibition period
itself. So,
but the campaign is ongoing.
The campaign is ongoing, and the exhibition dates will be out here. And you will see a whole kind of installation of all the entries that were submitted, almost all. And we'll print them out. And also during the period of the exhibition, you can experience cyanotype.
Yeah. So each individual story and entry will be printed with cyanotype medium.
So
not digitally printed or anything. It's really handmade and hand sewn.
There will be an area where you can hand sew them together to experience the kind of like how we are all connected part. And also like there'll be places where you can reflect on things. So do come and check out the exhibition. Yes. And it will be in Fashion Gallery in Nafa, Campus 1. So your work is very much related to like, there's some mental wellness kind of interest there. Like, would you say like that's how like you're also working on the hidden threads of blue, coming from the angle? Like, how is that? How you think as an artist, like your work will always be, or right now is very much in that kind of area that you're in, your area of interest would be in mental wellness?
I would think that my art always pertained to my like mental health, my understanding of, my anxieties. So they all stem from there. So I don't think I can run very far from it. Even when I do my individual personal work, I can't really run very far from it. But now I'm looking not just at myself, but communities in Singapore. So, I mean, other projects that I'm waiting to do, just in the works, is with like, you know, our migrant workers or people with stories that are hidden. So I'm like trying to bring out these stories through cyanotype. It could be through photography or through the act of doing it with them. So those are like my point of interest, and also just with everyone, like just everybody, I think can benefit from doing something like slowing down, like pottery or craft, just finding certain mediums that you can slow down. And I think cyanotype has this strength, that is very simple. So it's not stressful. So it's not like you're daunting. It's very easy to approach. And then you can approach it in many different ways. So you can expand it, and also, you know, how good sunlight is for you, for your health, mental health. So it's good to go out. So maybe you will have like activities going out and finding the leaves and flowers, or taking photos together and then printing them. So these are certain like projects I'm thinking of doing in the future.
So there's like this like kind of desire to help others who also probably are struggling and going through some. Is that the motivation in your art, and also like bringing your art to more people out there? Yeah,
I think that really helped me in my like process of understanding my own emotions. Like you don't have to be like, you know, diagnosed or to be like in the pits to start doing something that, you know, promotes the mental wellness. Because in our society, a lot of times we delay getting help, you know, until we spiral, until, you know, the last moment you're so desperate for, like, you know, some sanity. But I think in between there's a space for crafts. There's a space for either, you know, exercise, or a space for healthy, you know, activities that can really help you to prevent you from going to that point. So I really believe that you know, we as like artists or craftsmen or anyone, like we can have that, you know, motivation when we are doing things. I feel like it makes things more meaningful, I think, when we are approaching our work.
I think definitely like doing something with your hands helps to regulate some emotions, right? Like mental wellness, like promotes mental wellness and all. But do you look into it like in a scientific way? Like, I mean, because your work is very much related, do you really do research in these areas as well?
Yeah, so I mean, I try to find some parallels with like CBT, like therapy. So my work is not art therapy because I'm not a therapist, but there are a lot of parallels to in its process. So like for me, when I expose myself to all my triggers, right? That's part of it also, when you're in a safe space, so through a medium. So it's like, that's why there's art therapy, right? Through a medium that doesn't feel like it's in your face, but like approaching like your documentation, your pictures that you have might be triggering, you know, different materials that might be triggering, like expose yourself to it in a safe space, because you are going to make something out of it. So you're going to do something creative, you're going to redeem it. And then clarifying is like washing, purifying your thoughts. So you wash the cyanotype, is like purifying it, right? To give it a new meaning at the end. So, I mean, even in the process, there's like a lot of parallels to psychology. But you know, maybe I can research even more. Even more.
Do you feel that in your process, like let's say some of the old artworks that you have created that was like captured a time that was difficult for you, but after you have produced the artwork, when you look at it again, does it trigger, or like what kind of emotions does it evoke right now? Does it bring you back to that time, or do you feel like, okay, I've overcome that?
No, I think I'm too emotional. So sometimes it will bring me to that time. But I think it's mingled with more like a stability there. It used to make me feel very like distraught. A bit.
So what you mean.
Because it's quite triggering. But I think I came to a point where, because now it's redeemed, right? I see other people's reaction to it. And then I realized, oh, actually this idea, this truth that I have, right, that I thought it was negative, it's not. It's actually quite positive if I see it from another person's point of view. Like when if I tell people what I've been through, and then they tell me, wow, that's very strong of you, right? Like you managed to overcome these things. And sometimes you need that different perspective, and not just, you know, that one way of thinking in the past, and redeem it by having a different way of seeing what these things mean now. Yeah, and I see a hope, I see a strength.
Yeah. I think as time goes by, maybe you also develop like a new strength to look at them as art, really like that captured that time rather than, I mean, the emotional part. I mean, saying this because I also had this experience with some of my artwork created at a time when I was a student in Japan that was a bit more difficult. And then looking at it in the past would be like really bring me back to those, difficult times. But now as I get older, I don't know, maybe I've gotten over certain parts and I can start to see the beauty in those difficult times. Yeah. So it really, it's very interesting. It's the same art, but it's just that you have changed, I guess.
But if not for those things, you will never have made those artworks.
Maybe.
You will not turn out in that way.
Maybe.
Yeah. So thanks to the difficult times,
maybe.
I actually made these things.
Yeah.
And now it's like, because I managed to overcome it, then now it's expanding to others and helping others.
Yeah.
So I think similar to what, you overcame, and then how it's like affecting other people in a positive way. Right?
Yeah, and I think it's nice that you have experienced the goodness of this craft and then now you're taking it and sharing with those around, and I'm sure a lot of people can benefit from this. Yeah, and so is there anything like in the upcoming future that you like to work on, or what are your plans for your art? Like, what are your goals? Yeah.
My goals.
Yeah. Oh, not goals. Maybe just like, what would you hope to embark on next after this project? Now I know you're very busy now, but
I mean, those, I think I mentioned, some community projects. But also, I mean, in a smaller scale, I want to do workshops. Yeah, in my own studio. Yeah, and around me in my area. So if you're in the West, most likely you can join me.
Yes.
Yeah, just a small group of people to do cyanotype together.
And where can we find information on like your workshops and all these latest updates?
I think the most immediate way is Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, Mersie Studio.
Okay. And how do you spell Mersie?
MERSIE. And then Studio, STUDIO.
Okay.
Yes.
And also you have a website?
Yes, mersiestudio.com.
Okay. Where you will probably post
probably that's where you can, probably that's where you'll be able to also maybe find some products or things like that there. Yeah, and also open to commissions.
Okay. So tell us more about what kind of commission work have you been doing?
So recently been doing some photography. For different couples, I guess. Because, this story of this couple is a long distance. So secretly, she came and asked me to commission this work to give to him.
Oh, nice.
So she packaged it and then give it to him.
Over.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think it's meaningful. It's something you can, there's an ethereal feeling. So it's really dependent on your taste. Because some might find it a bit, depending on how you reflect blue. But I do think there is unique feeling of like longing, like, if you have it in a long distance. Yeah. Or you want to remember certain family photos.
Yes.
I think it's a nice medium.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, so you can commission these things. Yeah, on paper and all that as well. So like I have a series that is more abstract. Also, these ones. So I think they might look good and in your house, I think. Yeah.
Would you be making more artwork, personal artwork, you think, any times? Because now you're more focused on community kind of work, right? Like, if you were to create artwork again, like, do you think, like, what kind of approach would you have?
So I recently, because actually I have a not a really goal, but something I want to do is explore cyanotype even more, and into the 3D space.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, small things like this is already 3D, but I mean, technically they're still flat, but cyanotype on pottery, cyanotype on ceramics. I don't know.
Because it's porous. It's still porous.
But heat and all that is it's not very heat resistant. It will turn brown. Yeah. So something like that, or like using textile and doing installations or things like that might be something also. And also I'm looking into making flora, like flowers and things like that with cyanotype. So I'm looking into building a garden maybe or something.
Yes.
So I have many ideas, but I need to take it slow and do it one by one. But those are like, that's why cyanotype is interesting, because you can apply it to so many way in so many ways. Yeah.
Do you think there's any like Korean influence in your art or your approach in any way since you studied in Korea?
Yeah, Tansekwa. That time I mentioned
Tansekwa, okay.
Yeah, Tansekwa. And I mean, in general, I mean, when I was there, I always asked the speaker what makes Korean art Korean. They cannot answer me. I mean, it's similar what Singaporean art, right?
But like, do you think studying in Korea did shape your art a bit, right?
Yeah.
But must have, right?
Yeah, so when I asked that question, they were just like, oh, we can't really answer you because we are very young. They say that, yeah. But to me, there's a lot of political, like cultural, like roots as to how and why they make certain art. And so it's a lot of things about their need, the way around them, right? What is around them? What is eminent? Like, what is the present time? So I think that's something that I take with me because in a very documentary way, that's how I approach my art also. So it's not really creating some idealistic like things, right? Everything is about our people, about our nation, what is happening now. So I think that's something that's very grounding, in their art.
Like quite like current affairs, kind of like a reflection of the current times.
Yeah. It's a immediate response from it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So do you have any like word of advice for your younger self?
My younger self, you'll get there, I guess. Yeah, you'll get there and then just trust the process. Yeah, trust God. Yeah. And then, don't worry too much about things because I think sometimes the more you worry, the less you do and the less you will understand. Because for me, I think I think too internally too much and then it just like cripples me. So I think having something to do, something to look forward to, just slowly take it day by day, then things will turn out well. Things will get better. Yeah.
Is there anything else you would like to share with us before we conclude? I don't know, anything about your music.
Oh, my music.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's like music kind of took a back seat, right? But even though Mersie is like, if we
initially
were to,
my musician.
Yes. Yeah. If we were to try to find Mersie, we're going to find out that you're a very talented musician and we can listen to your songs on Spotify as well.
Yes.
So actually how is that, going, and like, are you going to continue to pursue music in a way or another? Yeah.
Yeah, so when I was in Korea, I was faced with this like question from my professor: is it music or is it art? I felt very distraught.
Choose one.
Yeah, I want to do both, But so I mean, in the end, I did a lot of sound art, but it's not the same from like making music in the way that I used to. But I don't think it's very far off because it's still
sound art.
Yeah. But I did like music because they were like diary entries. So they're not far from these things in intention. Yeah. So at some point of time, I stopped being able to have any music because I also focused on documenting true, art instead of melodies and lyrics. But now I feel like I want to start doing music again and, writing songs that are like Christian because I really feel like I want to do in that aspect to discover in the area more than like just personal music. But yeah, I've been writing some songs that I hope to
release.
Yeah, I hope to release.
Exciting. Do you think your songs and your music can go hand in hand with your art as well? Like, do you consider like, the showcase, let's say, of your work can go with a music?
I actually had my first EP launch. Then I did
artwork.
It so it was an exhibition, art exhibition and a performance.
Oh, that was back in
very long ago.
Okay.
2022.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, so I do see that merch and my album art, you can see is cyanotype actually.
Nice.
Yeah, and hope to, next time
explore more on that.
So when I had my solo exhibition in Korea, I also did an opening performance. Yeah, in front of my tapestry. Yeah. And then I shared the stories and then I sang songs. Yeah. So
wow, that's awesome. I think that really like, when it comes together, it's like the full picture. And I hope you can have the time
some
and
more
space
merging.
merging to further explore these two areas.
Right.
Yeah. Create beautiful art. music. So Merissa, would you be going back to painting ever again?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. As in, I feel motivated, like suddenly to do what I intended to do. Paint plein air, so go out and paint. Yeah. So I have a friend who is interested. She told me, bring me out to paint. So I'm looking forward to going out and paint.
Oh, that's something that you are restarting.
Yeah,
like what you had
again.
Originally
Yeah,
set out to do.
So when I during pandemic, there were times where I brought just my color pencils and paper to bring it out. And then I really enjoyed.
Is it all blue?
Not blue. So explore. Yeah. Why are you so surprised?
No, because you say you want to paint blue stuff.
I know, but no, I like other colors as well.
Okay. So this time it's
mixed medium. Yeah. So I've done some works with cyanotype and mixed with painting.
I see.
Yeah, mixed with like text, like sewing and things like that to mixed media. But painting is still something I really enjoy. I think it motivates you to get out of the house, especially when you do landscape painting. It just makes you get out. Yeah.
Do you consider yourself as a fine artist? Because you did a master's in fine arts, right? Are you a fine artist?
In what sense? Think?
In your own sense.
How do you define fine
That's
artist?
why. How do we define fine artists, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that the term has evolved a lot. Like recently, fine artists can do very different things.
I think it's arbitrary, the label. Yeah. Some people who are not doing art are artists also.
Yes.
And some people who are doing art, they don't really think about whether is it fine arts, visual arts. Like you don't have to define them into little boundaries, right? Because your exploration of the world can come out in many ways. It could be in your research that's art.
What was your thesis?
My thesis?
When you studied, when you did your master's in fine arts, right? That's what you guys do, right? Thesis.
The writing.
Writing part.
Yeah. So the sublime was the main topic.
Okay.
So blue abstractions of the contemporary sublime.
Wow.
Yeah. So I talked about our cultural present during the pandemic, post-pandemic period. How has technology changed the way we live? Because when I was isolated, I was super fixated on the news, the numbers, the deaths, everything was now we still doom scroll every day. It's part of our routine, I think. I don't know about you, but I doom scroll. So it's just being very aware and researching on how it has affected our memory, affected the way we see things, perceive ourselves. So I was just researching on that, the culture side of things. And then after that, I also researched on the cyanotype, the technical side of things, material, and also looking as a whole, like art and also the meaning of blue. So my thesis, try to bring together all these things to make sense of our world, and also how we're going to look into the future. How is our future going to look like? And my past trauma. So that span of time, that I had to put it into my thesis. I guess I overwrote a bit. Yeah, a lot of things to write. Yeah, so it was a good time. Actually, I enjoyed researching about all these different things and cases and how it affects us. So that also links to some research on psychology and things like that. So there's a lot of topics in my thesis. Yeah.
Wow. So you have gone through a lot. I feel like going to Korea during the pandemic and then doing a lot of self-reflection and also addressing those your past trauma and being there alone, right, to face all these things through your art, right? So would you say that there was one thing that helped you overcome all these?
Not one thing, accumulation of things, I guess. Yeah, being away from home can be triggering. Even though the triggers are not there, but the lack of those triggers sometimes can be triggering because to me, isolation, it reflects a childhood memory of being scared and being fearful, being unstable, right? Things are unpredictable, especially at a young age. You can't really comprehend the complexities of life. And I felt like I was brought back to a sense of me being that helpless child at that time. Yeah, and unable to control, right? As an adult, you want to take control and be able to, perceive what is going to happen and then make good decisions, right? But at that time, I just felt very handicapped. I couldn't do anything that I wanted, like music or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is a practice. is a practice in part of growing up, I think. Just facing that unpredictability and saying, I'm fine with that, and doing something through that to learn, to grow, and understanding yourself, your weaknesses, and then sometimes using that as your strengths to do something new. Yeah.
And when you look into the future, right, was it also blue? Just kidding.
Blue?
Yeah.
I mean, blue can be anything.
Yes.
Blue can be hopeful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since this is the Polkaros podcast, I always ask this question at the end of the podcast, which is, if you were going to like a deserted island, like, okay, let's say food and everything is taken care of, and you have to bring one craft with you, what would that be?
Cyanotype.
Yes. Really? It's really the best.
No, but honestly,
right?
Yeah. You know why?
Yeah.
I want people to discover all the specimens of the whatever on the island,
be so
right?
pretty, yes.
Yeah, can you imagine you have a whole collection of
Yes.
this weird island that I'm stuck on? I want to know more about it, right? I want people to find out, even if I'm gone.
Right.
Yeah, even if I'm gone, right? People find all these like imagine, right? Collection of flora.
That's so awesome. Do you know how long like a cyanotype print will last? Is there lifespan?
This is 2 years old already, and
it
didn't fit yet.
It didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay, but this is a textile. And then these ones also are quite old. They didn't fit yet.
Wow, I really love the fact that you can document like these specimens with it, right? There's something fascinating about that. Yeah, like capturing time.
Exactly.
And on an island.
Capture sand, capture the waves. Yeah.
Or like weird,
yeah.
shell and husk. Yeah. Husk. So if you're interested to listen to Merissa's music, you can go on Spotify. And to find out about her workshops, you can go on IG. We'll put it here. And thank you so much for coming on, Merissa. It was lovely chatting with you.
Yes, thanks for the nice chat.
And thank you for the jingle. I would like to have a complete version.
Yeah, it was made in 1 second, literally.
But it's awesome. And I hope we have an official one soon.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much
Thank you.
everyone. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned for the next episode of the Polkaros Podcast. Bye.
안녕.
안녕. 안녕하세요. Is that what we say?
감사합니다.
감사합니다.